seconds and we'll be under racing in Cadets, and we are away. And it's a great start from the front row from both Lizzie Mentier and Catherine Potter, as Potter cuts to the inside and sits right back into the behind Mentier in the 50. Fox Whiteley in the 22 as well, up into third place. So 3 of the championship front runners running 1, 2 and 3 as David Mack, as we've got a spinner, and it's Leon Barlow round in the 42. I thought he caught the tyres on the inside there, Tom. Difficult to see on the screen, but I don't think he got much help. I think he caught the tyre on the inside.
I think you might be right, and that's dropped him right to the back of the field. I was watching the start line out of the commentary box window, and Tom Holden in the 87 actually got a fantastic start. 2 or 3 places made up and moved him up to 5th at the time.
That looks like William Robinson going very, very wide round South Bank in number 17. Start line marshal might have to charge him to get back in. He went so wide round South Bank.
You're stealing my lines again, David.
Of course I am. Life's a competition, Tom.
So that actually, as I said, Tom Holden moved up to 5th and has held 5th overall. So we've got Lizzie Mentier, Catherine Potter, Jared Fox Whiteley, Thomas Potter, Tom Holden, Isabella Stansmore-Wilson, David Mack, Josh Cooke, Reece Penniston and Addison Smith are your top 10 at the end of lap 1.
So 8 laps for our Cadets, and Lizzie Mentier in the number 50, currently second place in the championship, has Catherine Potter behind. And as mentioned earlier, it's 2 drop scores out of the 7 rounds in the slightly reduced championship. Normally we run 9 rounds here at Teesside and take the best 7 scores, but Catherine Potter and Lizzie Mentier both have a sub 200 score to drop. Mentier's as a 183. Potter's a slightly better 199, although the likelihood is both of those will be dropped at some point.
We should also mention as well that there was 0.028 of a second between Catherine Potter and Lizzie Mentier in qualifying. So as you can see in the race, there's nothing between them, and Potter takes the lead up the inside, and we fully expect Mentier to just hold position now on the back of Potter. Because, as I say, the pace in qualifying was so closely matched between these two, with Fox Whiteley was only a 10th or so back as well.
Yeah, to be honest with that, it didn't look like Mentier put up any defence, and she went so wide, it wouldn't be surprised if she'd let Catherine Potter through, actually, in order to just try and suss it out, and rather than be the one defending, now she's the one that's going to attack. 8 laps of action for our Cadets in the heats before we go to a 10-lap final. We're almost at half race distance already, and Lizzie Mentier now is in the position where she's going to be able to attack, but now she's also got to be wary of Jared Fox Whiteley in that number 22 behind.
Yeah, it looked like Mentier had a brief look up the inside of Potter there, and again decided that actually this isn't the moment to go. They are bringing Fox Whiteley along as well, so he's head down behind the steering wheel, trying to get that aero push in the slipstream of Mentier and Potter. So double slipstream for Fox Whiteley, bringing him along.
Don't want to leave the lead battle, but the battle for 4th onwards is all the way down to 8th place, 9th place as well now, I think, with well, at least 8th with Josh Cooke on the back of that. And Isabella Stansmore-Wilson, who scored her maiden pole position at Hooton Park last week, currently a driver in a lot of form, is in 4th place with Potter, Mack, Holden and Cooke behind.
If you keep your eye on the screen, David, I'll keep a watch behind, because it is actually, as you say...
Oh, we've had a dive to the inside of hairpin 4. Sorry to cut you off, Tom, but Mentier's gone to the inside, forced Potter all the way right, and Jared Fox Whiteley from 3rd place comes through, and with 3 remaining, Jared Fox Whiteley leads Cadet Heat 1. Lizzie Mentier got down the inside and ran Catherine Potter really wide onto the rumble strip on the outside, and then Mentier as well got hooked up on that rumble strip. Jared Fox Whiteley didn't have enough time to take his hands off the steering wheel and rub them together in delight, but I think he probably did that in his head. Now he's in the lead, does the little helmet tap, which suggests please stay behind me. With 2.5 remaining, I think that's a fruitless request, but we'll see.
Set the fastest lap of the race as well in the process of that, so opportunistic move, but got him through into the lead and then set the quickest lap of the race as well. So it looked like all 3 were on for a super fast lap there, but Fox Whiteley managed to get it, and Potter now sets the fastest lap of the race, hunting both of these drivers down, Mentier and Fox Whiteley. And as you said, David, 4th position is Isabella Stansmore-Wilson. We do then have a slight gap back to David Mack now, while these guys have been battling 3 and 4 wide at some point, to David Mack, Thomas Potter, Tom Holden and Josh Cooke. And then a slight gap of a second and a half to Reese Peniston and Addison Smith, 9th and 10th. So Fox Whiteley still holding position through hairpin 3. Potter looking very racy behind Mentier, putting her under a lot of pressure as we come through to start the last lap.
And I've just had a quick look, Tom, and from my calculations, I don't think Jared Fox Whiteley has won a race here at Teesside before. I know he's won many races in the past, certainly has won many at Wombwell, but I don't think Jared Fox Whiteley's won a race here at Teesside.
And Lizzie Mentier's in the same boat as well.
Yeah, and he's got half a lap as well for either of these drivers. Fox Whiteley down the back straight in the number 22, the 11-year-old from Pontefract, has half a lap to hold back Lizzie Mentier in the 50. The 10-year-old from Marsk as they go into hairpin number 3 for the final time. Fox Whiteley will position that kart to the middle of the track. Potter comes from nowhere to dive down the inside of Mentier, gets down but can't. And Jared Fox Whiteley in the number 22 for the first time takes the checkered flag and wins in Cadet Extreme here at Teesside Karting, with Lizzie Mentier and Catherine Potter the top 3. Stansmore Wilson, Mack, Thomas Potter, Holden. Although Tom Holden drops all the way down to 9th. Reese Peniston and Addison Smith in 7th and 8th. Sophie Pawsey 9th. Oliver Watson 10th. It looks like Josh Cooke.
Yeah, and Tom Holden
have
come together. Both of them are dropping down. So Tom Holden and Josh Cooke, we're waiting for them to cross the line. Still nothing from them. Can you see them out on circuit, David? Because we might have another.
That looks like the final one over. And no, I can't see where either of those are out on track unless they've hidden behind a tyre wall. We do have a spin after the checker though. It looks like Cody Lamb's had a problem. He's going to turn that kart round. And Jared Fox Whiteley, as you can see there on the screen, is potentially, at least for the next 10 minutes or so, the happiest person in the northeast.
Yeah, fantastic result for Fox Whiteley there.
Here we are on the weighbridge. Select your favourite character.
There we
go over. I do like the Cadet liveries. It's like they've really put some thought into it. A real mix of colours. That's a brand new livery as well on Isabella Stanmore Wilson on the 88.
That was David Max, whose livery was brand new for the last round for the double header. Still looking very nice as well.
That's Tom Holden, so he did finish. Josh Cooke behind as well in the number 3.
So who's that behind them? That's the 47. So maybe they did.